welcome to me reacting to magic tricks. We're gonna be looking through a whole bunch of magic tricks today and seeing what tricks are good, bad, and which ones blow my mind. Drop in. And cut. Hi, I'm Maris, aka. I hope you're having a good April Fool's today. If this is the first video you're watching from me, this is not what I usually make. I tend to make variety content around games, primarily in terms of gameplay, trimming that down, making compilations of that kind of stuff. You know, for April Fool's, I did want to parody one of the bad reaction channels, but that's not what you're going to be getting here. So if you wanted that and you wanted someone to make fun of while doing it, then yeah, this is not the place for it. But the video itself is real. No, like what I outlined, I am actually going to be reacting to magic tricks. I'm going to actually put in the effort and try to like properly react to these, give them a bit more like viewpoints. But as you may have noticed, I don't have a webcam. I legitimately don't have one. I don't have interest in having one. I'm not doing a face reveal, so it would be a bit awkward to do this and not have like some form of face on the screen, you know? I just kind of feel like oh my god! Now, if it isn't obvious at this point now, this is very obviously inspired by Jack's Films videos on like bad reactor bingo and all that. And like watching those make me think, oh, I can legitimately do this better. And also there's Reactbot here, courtesy of Jack's Films again. I mean, hey, what do you think about all of this, you know? Like I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Zooey mama.
Zooey mama indeed. Yeah, essentially I'm just gonna have him here mostly for the visual face and for him to interject, but I'm hoping that I am at least consistently better than he is. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna try my best to react to some content. And of course I am gonna be citing stuff as I go. Now this one is from Magic Trick Videos from the looks of it. Links for these TikToks will be in the description. I reacted to the entire TikTok, but I'm only using parts of it. So if you want to watch the full thing, once again, it's in the description. Go check them out. First one. Interesting. Okay. And then moves on to different. Here, see, I'm already doing better because I'm actually pausing these. I kind of want to look at the start of that again. So it came out of the... So part of me wonders if that's just like a string. Like, it kind of looks like with how it's kind of like dangling in place as well, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like they had like a thin string out from the top. Like, it's a pretty far distance though. I mean, like if we look back... Yeah, with the way it kind of like drops into his mouth there, it's like I do genuinely think that is the thing is, it's like part of me wants to put it into like a video editor and everything, but sure, if I can download it, I don't know what I'm doing. This is like literally the first time using TikTok. But basically that's kind of my guess there. Part of me wonders if you could maybe see like some patching in there. I feel like this is probably something like post Aries would have to do. So hi. This is Post Aries. I look a little different here. I'm going to be popping in to help out with discerning magic tricks, especially since a decent chunk of them end up being look at them in post. But admittedly, this one I'm not entirely sure on. So my thoughts about this are essentially that for this jelly bean here, I believe that this jelly bean... Actually, I don't think it's a jelly bean. I think it's a gummy bear. But either way, I think it's potentially CG, but it does move kind of wobbly. It's kind of constantly tessellating. But the thing is like I don't really see very much in terms of like, oh yeah, that's a wire. But I did notice another oddity whenever I was looking at this as well, mainly with him here. I'm assuming this is magic tricks. I don't know. Kind of seems like there's like a jump or a potential morph here, but it could just be him opening the mouth. But what really makes me think it is then whenever he like sticks out his mouth, it kind of looks like it just kind of just like generally opens it, and then suddenly there's like a tongue there. It looks kind of odd though. It kind of looks like it's a chin and he's kind of like yeah a little, then the rest of the tongue comes out. Like I don't know, it seems visually weird to me, basically. On top of that, whenever it goes into his mouth, what's that right there? Like, what's that just like spontaneously got summoned? It wasn't there before. So I think that's like the upper part of his mouth. After that, it then shows the upper part, or maybe even like the rest of the tongue, then goes in, and then it just kind of like jumps here, Like from mostly this red here to then this. But even then, it's like I'm still not exactly positive. Like it's weird. I can't exactly give like a super succinct summarization of this outside of it's most likely edited, but I'm not exactly sure how they got the magic to work, I guess. Essentially unconclusive. Yeah, we're 6 seconds in, and that's how much I mean, what are your thoughts?
This reminds me of Mr. Beast.
Does Mr. Beast do magic trick? I don't think he does. Magic trick here. Oh, look look at that circle. Oh my god. what an odd... Honestly, I wasn't even paying attention to the magic trick. I was just paying attention to the circle. So the thing is, it's like... Oh, that's edited on. It's really bold to put a red circle, like, right there. Like, he's putting his hand up to it. I think it would be pretty surmisable. That here, like the fudge stick here, that's clearly edited on. Like, that's not typically part of this. I think it's just a chocolate, and that's just edited on. So... Not amazing. And then it's gone here, and then he just like procures it from his hands. How does he procure it from his hands? I feel like I might need to get post Aries in on this. They're so baffled. For this one, I'm pretty sure I know what's happening here, but there's mainly two things I want to point out. First things first, in terms of the circle here, I'm pretty sure there's some masking going on here. And as well as a morph, especially here now I'm kind of looking at it. Basically, there does seem to be like a morph going on to obscure the magic trick really going on display here. Especially like around here. Here's the thing that I think actually makes this a bit more compelling. This is all one take. It's not a morph into a different take. It's all the same take. So I guess morph isn't the word, it's mask. It's a mask because... if we go to the beginning of the clip, I already have it kind of set up to keep an eye out. Look at his hand right here. What is this interesting brown blob that's right around his wrist here? In fact, if we go a bit further, as you can see, I already have keyframes on it. You can still see the glob there under his hand. Like whenever he goes up here, you can still see it. And you can kind of see bits of it like here. And I'm pretty sure this is the most blatant version of it, actually. And that's why the red circle exists. Because this is the misdirection. That's why I was... like, it is very funny to me that someone included a red circle in a video, especially for the purpose of misdirection. Because, like, otherwise you would see the fudge stick in his hand. I tested it out with my pen. I don't exactly have a good camera, so I can't super demonstrate this. But like, you can absolutely hold a fudge stick. Like, stick between the fingers, probably the index in the middle, and then with the hand position that he's pretty locked into, that would obscure it pretty well. Okay, well, it would obscure a pen pretty well. A fudge stick, that's a bit harder. Yeah, that's my analysis on this one. All right, hey, Reactbot, how do you feel about that TikTok? Of that creamsicle coming out, not creamsicle, fudgesicle coming out of nowhere.
That's kind of cringe, bro.
Yeah, they got the red circle and everything. It's very cringe. Since I'm sorry, quite a few minutes. That was only one TikTok. I mean, granted, that was multiple magic tricks, and I'm gonna be going back there with editing areas anyway. So next one, this one is gonna be Milad K Magic Best Magic Trick Reactions. Oh, and it has copyright. Of course it does. That guy's reaction in the back. Now that was a pog face right there. Like, look at him, he's so excited. One thing that's kind of interesting to me about this is that the laptop looks a little weird. I'm not sure what it is, but something does seem kind of off about the back of the laptop in general. So I'm not entirely sure what's up with it. He could probably be palming the apple right now. Yeah, and because the other hand isn't there, so I'm pretty sure he's palming the apple as he's like coming up with it. Sorry. I'm pretty sure for the actual Apple part itself, I feel like I would need a closer look at the back of the laptop in general, like in editing. But at least here, I'm pretty sure it's compositing out the Apple logo. I'm pretty positive about that. But still, it did say it was the best magic trick reactions, and so far I'm inclined to agree. Okay, in post, I don't really have much to add onto this one, but I just want to point out a couple observations. One, in the very beginning, whenever he starts bringing his hand up, there is absolutely an apple stem there. So yeah, he's holding on to an apple. And the other thing I wanted to point out over here, in terms of the masking out, there is exactly one frame where you can kind of still see the old logo on it that they forgot the mask glass paint over or whatever. That's literally it. I love running magic tricks. Reactbot, what do you think about getting an apple from an apple?
Subscribe to me because I curate only the best stuff.
Who's me here? Is it me or is it you? Anyway, this next trick. You know, there is definitely a very, is it intentional or unintentional comedy that everyone just like, oh, it makes me laugh. So I'm pretty sure, especially because there's that there. Like I'm trying to get like a better look. Here, let's start from like the proper beginning. It starts as empty, and then it cuts here, and then they like visually composite the open can onto the full can here. So this is the can that hasn't been opened yet. So then whenever he brings his hand over, is essentially kind of like taking off that mask of the composite. Also, now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, how does he know what happened? He's just looking confusingly. So that goes over, and he's like ideally he shouldn't be pogging out of his gourd until like he gets shown the can. Like, what? You know what I mean? Basically, yeah, I think it's a compositing trick here. But compositing trick here with pretty. I don't know if I would consider it a hidden cut, because like it's pretty distinct here. You know, it's pretty distinct here, and I'm pretty sure it's different takes. But that's the thing. I'm still kind of unsure. Like if you were to just watch it naturally, then yeah, you probably would think it was just one take and some weird editing flourish. But whatever. Either way, I still think his reaction is very funny. And I suppose that's what we're here for. So, Reactbot, how did you feel about that magic trick?
Facts, no printer.
I don't think that was facts, but thank you. All right. We are not even halfway through. All right. That was it. Okay. Wow. All right. That was pretty short. Yeah. So that's a string, right? I think it's pretty undeniably a string. In fact, I think I can even go a step further. I think because of the string, it's why the soda has that weird pour to it. Because as you can see with the soda, it's coming out of the soda, but then it's kind of like pulling back in a little, which is not typically how pours happen. Like see, it looks kind of weird there. Like you kind of see a flicker. It kind of like bows out like that and turns into a split stream. It bows out whenever he has a bit more force to it. And with that, you can more clearly see the string because there's soda on it, because the soda has been running along that string. So that's how that works. I guess what I'm wondering is like, if the string is going down from the can, then then how is it staying as upright as it is, you know? Hi, post area's cutting in here because I spend way too long on this part specifically. Whenever it comes to how this is done practically, because this is a practical effect, there's a paper clip in the can, there's a string that goes down from the can, and then there's like a cross section of wires that hold the cup up. Because I ended up looking it up, saw a video on it, and that's pretty much what's happening here. I just spend way too long in the video actually talking about it, so, and I didn't even come to the conclusion anyway, so I have to step in. Dumbass. Alright, that's it. Yeah, that's my conclusion to this one, is that it's definitely string. I just need to look deeper into how. What do you think about strings, Reactbot?
Next TikTok.
Okay, thank you. And in here, we got a bed sheet. Well, we probably have a bed sheet ghost in the making. Let's see. Oh, how scary! Woo. So first of all, I was right. Actually, I'm pretty sure there's compositing at work here. Because like I think he's naturally in here. Probably up until this point. Actually, from this point, yeah, it's like the holes disappear. So I think at this point he's gone, and then it just kind of crumples in. But then whenever they do this, I think at this point they're doing a different take, and in fact, it might be like I don't like. It's kind of weird that it just drops like that though. Like Claude doesn't typically do that, so. I'm not sure why it just goes like zoop down to the ground. It's definitely something I need to look into in the edit. Which, like, you know what? They're kind of warming up to me because it's kind of getting to the point where it's like I can't obviously discern what it is, so I actually have to look deeper into it. But like, I think here it's like it does seem a bit blurry. Like it does seem kind of dark here, and then it like brightens up here. So I'm pretty sure the edit happens in the middle of this. And I'm pretty sure, like, once it's here, this is basically the original shot here, while this here, I think, is a combination of the original shot of the guy on the left, and then a shot of the guy on the right. Like, I'm kind of looking at it each time, and I think I just have to give it a deeper analysis, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Hey, I'm here. This is the second time recording this because I did the first take and realized I was looking over a bunch of other things, so this is just a more succinct version. It is in high contrast because I think this better displays what I'm thinking is going on here, which is simply that, of course, as I said in the video, it's compositing. The thing is, I was kind of thinking like if it was like 2 or 3 shots, but I think here, so like, whenever you get a closer look here, I did already kind of mention there was no eyes on here, but here the video is actually like pretty stationary between these 3, and then there's like a sudden like jump here. Because of this here, and also the fact that the sheet now like properly updates here, the point I'm trying to make is that I think it might be 2 takes with a potential morph. Like between these frames in particular, but it's a bit hard to like properly discern it here. But you can also more clearly see in post that yeah, it does brighten up here, so it definitely some malarkey. There's definitely some malarkey going on here. I just wish I was more adept at figuring this stuff out, you know. But yeah, definitely compositing. I think it might be 2 or 3 takes. I wish I could say something more conclusive, but I don't know. I'm stupid, okay? Reactbot, do you happen to have any comments towards this sick TikTok? That's lame. Do you have any comments about ghosts? Do you have comments about ghosts?
Relatable.
Ghosts are relatable? I mean, yeah, true. Everyone has their own ghosts, I guess. Everyone knows about Ghostbusters, too. I mean, in fact, hey, look. That guy knows about Ghostbusters. Anyway. Alright, so forgive me for summarizing, but he's putting a, supposedly, glass bottle into a bag and then crushes it without shattering the thing. But you see how he's, like, crushing it, too? It's kind of, like, wrapped around something. Whenever I, like, crush a bag, I don't typically, like, wrap it around the thing. I typically just crumple it into a ball. So what happens between whenever the bottle gets picked up, or whichever it is? Thing is, that's like a fast motion, so I can't tell if there's like an actual edit going on there specifically. Is that the same guy? That is the same guy, actually. Actually, hold on. I have to see. Hold on. It is the same guy. Okay. Anyway, enough of that detour. Man, am I like losing my touch because I'm not sure specifically. Like the thing is, it's like they're only telling us that that's a glass bottle, and he kind of has his mouth up to it like he's drinking from it. But it could very well be that it's not a glass bottle. Is that like fully opaque too? Because like, I think it is fully opaque, and if it's fully opaque, then it doesn't really matter what contents are in there. It could just be an empty bottle, you know? Like just a completely empty bottle. In fact, I would probably be willing to wager that it is an empty bottle, and it's specifically one of those like breakaway bottles. Like it's the ones that you're supposed to break and they aren't like dangerous, you know? Like you just get glass. And that's why he kind of crumples it around stuff, because like most of that glass is probably towards the bottom of the bag, and he might be like doing it like this to crush up the breakaway glass. That would be my wager, you know? Actually, you know what? Let's do some science. Very interesting. It's okay, it may not be completely opaque, but it certainly looks translucent, and there is a label on it that we can't read. But it sure looks similar to these Smash Props breakaway beer bottles here, which are apparently $100. I mean, I suppose it's a prop, but basically, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's a breakaway bottle. And you know what? Final answer. Reactbot. Reactbot, what do you think about this magic trick that's probably just someone breaking a glass not a glass bottle, a breakaway bottle?
Bussin'.
Bussin'? Bussin'. Bussin'. Guess who still doesn't know how to end their videos? So yeah, I did react to some more TikToks after this, but I don't want this to go on for like 40 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. Like I said before, the links to the TikToks are in the description. I reacted to two of them, but it's not all that's in there, so feel free to take a look yourself if you so wish. I would say the normal spiel here, but Reactbot already has been covered, so I'm instead just going to say check out my other videos. I primarily do video game content rather than reaction content, but if that happens to be up your alley, well, there's some of that here. So, yeah, go ahead and check it out. But with that, I am done. Goodbye.